Welcome to the JavaScript Basics Crash Course. JavaScript is a high-level interpreted descriptive language that conforms to the ECMAScript specification. JavaScript has curly bracket syntax, dynamic typing, and prototype-based object orientation and first-class functions. And JavaScript is now considered as the programming language of the web, and this high-level programming language is one of the fastest growing programming languages in the year 2019, and we're gonna learn about that programming language. So let's get started. This is the setup part of our tutorial, and for the setup you need Visual Studio Code software for our coding things. So you go to Google and type in Visual Studio Code, and then here this is the first link I am reading, and we're gonna go to that, and from this website you have to download the code editor and install it. So let's meet from our first section of our tutorial. Guys, I'm thinking now you all have just installed Visual Studio Code for our project, and we're gonna go pretty much fast because we have to cover a lot in a short amount of time. So let's begin our JavaScript crashing course for absolute beginners. Now this is setup process for your project. First of all, you have to make a project, name in anything you want, and open that in Visual Studio Code. Let me open my project folder. This is my project folder. Then I create a new file called index.html, and I'm going to type in doc, and it will autocomplete for me the default HTML tags that are needed for our work. And I'm not going to go through a lot of HTML because I think you all have a pretty basic knowledge of HTML. So I'm going to now show you how to link JavaScript, external JavaScript file to our index.html. First of all, you need this tag, and for the script tag you have to add the src. For this src you have to type in the name of the JavaScript file, but we haven't created it yet. So let's create a JavaScript file, main.js, extension is js. So let's go here, and in this src or in long format source we're gonna fill it with main.js. Now our website is linked with HTML and JavaScript. Let's open this HTML file in browser. Okay, now we can begin our JavaScript course. alerts. What are alerts? We can practically make an alert using this function. This is a built-in function. We write alert, open parentheses and closing parentheses and colon. Then we type what message to be alert, what inside the alert. We write hello to all of you. Save and open it in our browser. And open it in our browser. Refresh and we see this page says hello to all of you. This is the alert. Hello guys, now we're gonna learn about comments. What are comments? In programming, comments are just text for our help. It's not for the emulator, interpreter or for the browser. It's just for our help, and it will be ignored when browser is executing our code. Okay, how to write a comment? There are two ways to comment in JavaScript. First way is inline comment. Put these two / and type anything you want and save. Then reload and you can see there are no errors happens and nothing wrong with that because this is a comment. I am a inline comment. Then we're going to learn about multiple line comments. Okay, to write a multiple line comment you put / and multi-line comment bam 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 bam. Then we close that comment with star and /. Comment is closed, and this is not gonna harm our code or anything like that. These are because these are comments. These are just for help. I am multi-line comment. I am for your help. That's it. See, nothing happened. Now we're gonna learn about variables in JavaScript. What are variables? Variables like boxes which are labeled and with a value. Boxes which are labeled and inside those boxes there is a value. Let me show you an example. Let my name equals single quotes, 2 single quotes and my name, and you can put your name, and we're gonna alert this using our alert function. I'm gonna type my name, then when you reload that you can see Sandru is displayed. Sandru. Why Sandru is displayed? Because we called my name. My name is a box. My name is a variable, and you can think it as a box. Imagine there is a box. It has labeled my name, and inside that box there is a value which is Sandru, and we have here alerted the box labeled as my name, and it shows us the value inside that box. And this is the concept of variable, but there is lot to it, pretty much lot, a little bit to it, not lot to it. Here this is called declaring a variable and assigning a value to it. Declaring a variable means this, let my name, and assigning value is we assign a value Sandaru to my name, and we can call this variable string. I use comments that we have learned before in the previous video. This is a variable. Why I call this variable? No, this is a string. Why I call this a string? String is a word with letters or anything. How to identify a string? It is surrounded by single quotes or double quotes. Okay, here for Sandaru we can use double quotes also, but nothing changes. The code runs as always, but the best practice is to use single quotes. Now we're gonna learn about various data types of variables. I call this is a string, and there is several more variable data types. I will list them. Multiple line comment. First one, string. What is the value they store? Words. Then we have integers. What is the value they store? Numbers. Then we have floats. What the value they store? Numbers with decimals. Then we have arrays. Oh, now the words. What they store? A list of strings or integers or floats. We're gonna get to this arrays in a later video. It is for intermediate experience, and other variable type data type is objects. Objects have no, we're gonna get to these two later because they are somewhat hard. Now we're gonna stick to these three integers. Let's look at integers. Let my age is a number, and for a number we use integer data type. We're gonna write a number without using single quotes or double quotes. That means it's a number. And 18, this is a number. Let y equals 5.5, no 3.14. This is a decimal because it is not surrounded by single quotes or double quotes, and it is a decimal point number. This is a number. Has no decimals, so it's not a float, but this is a float. This is a integer or a number. We don't call this a number. Instead we call this a float. We call this a number. And these are not surrounded by single quotes, but if we surround this by a single quote, then we have to call this a string, because how to identify a string? It is surrounded by single quotes or double quotes. Math operators. Wherever you see a number, then you can do math things for that. Okay, let's say let's take this year equals 2019. No, it is not. Let some number equals 100. You can do maths with this. Let's alert. First of all, we are going to do this without variable. Alert 10 plus 10. We run 20. We can also subtract 10 minus 10, 0, and we can divide 10 divided by 10, 1. Also we can multiply 10 into 10, it's 100. Okay, then we have another amazing operator, which is modulus. In maths you maybe have seen that this is being called as percentage sign, but in JavaScript it is the modulus operator. What does this do? Let me show you practically. 20 modulus 2, it will return as 0, because 20 divided by 2 is 10 with 0 remaining, and what this modulus operator do is return as the remaining value, and in this case the remaining value is 0, so 0 is displayed. Like that, let's use maths with variables. Let number 1 equals 100. Then I say alert number 1 plus 10. Number 1 is 100, 100 plus 10, 110. Like that. Let number 1 equals 55. Let number 2 equals 5. And let number 1 plus number 2. Then we run it. 60. Nice to see that. Okay, and those are the maths that we can do with. Now if we're gonna look further into the maths with JavaScript. Okay, now let's say I declare variable number equals 100. Then let num2 equals 20. Let num3 equals num1 plus num2. Now you can see here we have used two variables for a math expression. Let's look at the answer. Num3 like that. Here I have used plus operator. You can use whatever you want. Subtract, divide, multiply. Like you can try out and play around with any of the operator that we have access to. Okay, and when doing maths with JavaScript, no, this is not only for JavaScript but for the all programming languages. For all programming languages, when we do maths, the computer do maths according to a rule, ambiguity rule, in other words BODMAS rule. Okay, let's say you have a variable num1 which is have multiple math operations. 10 into 19 plus 10 plus 50 minus 40 divided by 3. Here computer, here first of all let's see the answer. 946.666, and this answer is wrong when we do match from left side to the right side. 10 into 19, 900 plus 10, 910 plus 50, 960 minus 40, 920, 920 divided by 3. Let's get a calculator. 920 divided by 3, 306.666 is the correct answer. But here we have got a 946 value. Why is this happening? Because the computer first of all do the multiplication and division stuffs, then the computer do the plus and subtract stuff. To avoid this thing being happening, you have to use brackets. 10 into 19 plus 10 inside brackets plus 15 inside brackets, insert more brackets, and now let's check the answer. 306.666. Answer is correct. In the last part, we look at how to add numbers, subtract them, what is ambiguity rule, and how to avoid that, and all that. Those all are regarding integers, in other words numbers. But what about strings? Can't we concatenate strings? Can't we multiply strings? Yeah, we can. Okay, in this part we're gonna look at how to concatenate strings, multiply strings, and so on. So let's continue on. First of all, I'm gonna create a variable. Let some text equals Susan. Okay, now we're gonna first look at how to concatenate these strings. First of all, let's add this some text, go to bra and run. This page says Susan. Let's concatenate some more. Susan, hello Susan. Let's see. Hello Susan. It's worked perfectly. And let's make another alert. Hello plus Alfred. Hello Alfred. See, this is the concatenating of strings. Also, hello Alfred. Also, you can multiply strings. Let's say text 1, no 2 is to 100. Let's see what happened. Hello Susan, hello Alfred. 200. Oh no, a text. Now let's see, comma. Hello Susan, hello Alfred. Not a number, because Why is this showing? Because the salad box is not enough long to show that much of text. Let's multiply by 5, then see what will happen next. Not a number. Oh no. Okay. So now this. Also, you can you can make new strings using by concatenating the current string. Let a string equals some text plus hello plus some text, a word cause hello plus some text, a word. Let's console alt. Hello Susan, like that. Do you know there is a part in our web browser called the console? This is the most used tool by web developers yet to today. Okay, in this video we're gonna look at how to get to show that tool and how to manipulate it to our use. Okay, to get the tool, you have to simply right click on your web page, blank space, then in Opera it's inspect elements. In Chrome also there will be a one called inspect elements. In Firefox also there will be a inspect element option. You can click on that and there will be a toolbox appearing. Here you have to go to click console tab. This is the tool that I talked previously, and how to use this, let's see. Go to this, the function to use the function or the code set to use the tool is console dot, and we have a number of options to use to manipulate that tool, and most often we use console.log. Let's use that. Console.log hello world. We refresh. I also prefer using console than using alerts. Alerts are very annoying for me. I don't know for you, but for me alerts are very annoying, and I always prefer console. In this part we're going to look at how to get the input from a user and store that value and do something with it. Okay, to get an input from a user you have to use the prompt function, but you have to use it like this: window dot prompt, open brackets and close brackets, semicolon at the end. And what to ask the user? Let's ask him or her age. What is your age? Question. And let's run this. It is asking what is your age. My age is 18. Okay, then done, but nothing happens. But typically when you are using a website, when it asks question and when you submit it some info, then it will do something. It will store that values in their database. But we don't have a database yet, but we can do something with it, with that values. First of all, we have to store the value that the user is submitting. To do that, we have to assign this thing to a variable. Let the user age equals, and after that let's console.log the user age. Done. Refresh. And what is your age? My age is 18. Okay, then you can see on the console tab their 18 is appearing on the log messages. Okay, now let's do something with this value. Okay, we ask for a input, then we store that value on a variable, and we have to do something with that variable. User age, usage. Okay, let's add 10 and add that. So plus 10 and add that. This is the thing that we are doing now. 18. Okay, then 28 will be 1810. Oh, you have to do some type conversions. This is little bit intermediate, but you have to type number here. Do you want to know why I have to type number and make this inside this open and closing brackets? Because when you get input from a user, it will store as a string. Do you remember that? When some number or a word surrounded by single quotes or double quotes, it is called as a string. Typically the letters are letters, the word combined by letters is known as a string. But when there is a number and it is also surrounded by single quotes or double quotes, it is also called as a string. Here when user types 18 for the input, it will store as a string value. It will store as a string value which is inside single quotes or double quotes. Here we can't see that. It will store in this variable. Here in the when we are adding it, we are trying to add 10 to the number 10, but we have a string 10. Here we have get a string 10 from the user, so we have to convert that string 10 into number 10 and then alert the message. So it is what we are doing here. Okay, let's test this out. What is your age? Let's type 25, then okay, then it will show me 35. Nice. In this part we're going to look at increment and decrementing of values of the variables. Typically these values will be a number or in other words a integer value. Okay, let's say let num1 equals 10. Now console.log num1 plus plus. What will this do? It will console log 10 is console logging. Why is that? Okay, we have to add the plus plus to here. Plus plus num1 is 10. Then plus plus it will be 11. Plus plus mean add 1 to the variable this 11. Also you can do minus minus. Likewise, this no matter where you put this plus plus or minus minus, you can also put this in here, but when you are console logging it, it will show as 10. Do you know why it is here? This will console log will first console log this one and ignore this one, but in normal way this is also a way to increment the value of the string is not string integer by 1. Also you have minus minus. Likewise, it will not work in here because the console log will ignore it, but if you want to surely console log, you can put it in front of the variable name. Now we're going to look at the fun part in JavaScript, that is the if else statement. Here is the place where the JavaScript programming language firstly begin to take decisions depending on some situations. Okay, let's say let city name equals Vatican. Then we can check if the value of the city name is Vatican, then we can do something. We can check the value of the city name by using the keyword if. Open brackets, close brackets, then we write city name equals. We are checking something. Here we have put one equal mark to give the city name variable this value, but here we are checking if city name is equal to something. We are checking, so we use triple equal signs equals to Vatican. Then do the things inside these curly brackets. Here you can see there will be a indentation here. It is for your helpfulness. No, it is for your help. When you see white space or indentation, you can see that it is a if else statement easily. If the city name is equal to Vatican, then let's change the city name. City name equals Colombo. Okay. Also we're gonna console log first. The city name is Vatican. Run. The city name is Vatican, and after that city name will be changed. Then let's also console log the city name now. After city name being changed to Colombo, city name will be equals to Colombo. like we expected. Colombo, like we expected. Okay, this is the simple structure of if statement. Hello guys, in this part we're gonna look at how to use comparison operators in if statements. Okay, here these are the comparison operators. This is equals, which is saying some number is equals to, and this is not equal to, some number is not equals to, this is greater than, some number is greater than this some number, and this is less than, some number is less than one number, this is greater than or equal to, some number is greater than or equal to another number, here less than or equal to, some number is less than or equal to another number. And these are the comparison operators which are mainly used in our purpose. Here I have declared and assigned values to two variables, num1 and num2. num1 is assigned 10, num2 is assigned 50. Here we have if else code block, and we are checking if num1 is equal to, what is the value of the num1? 10. 10 is equals to num2, 15. 10 is equals to 15. It is wrong. 10 is not equals to 15. So this code will not execute. Let's run. See, there will be no log messages because this statement is false. So this thing will not happen. But if we put not equals to, then refresh, and that will let the messages to be logged. Yes, because num1, in other words 10, is not equal to num2, in other words 15. 10 is not equal to 15. Is that statement is correct? Yeah, that statement is correct. So it will return true, and this message will execute, which is inside these curly brackets. For your base practice, make sure to add the semicolon at the end of the curly brackets, and also these things, but make sure that you put after curly brackets. It's a best practice, very best practice. Okay, then the another statement is greater than 10 is greater than 15. False, so the code will not execute. 10 is less than 15. num1 is less than num2. 10 is less than 15. Run. Yeah, it's correct. 10 num1 is greater than or equal to num2. 10 is greater than or equal to num2. False. Code will not execute. Num1 is less than or equal to num2, which is 10 less than or equal to 15. Run. Yeah, less than. Now we are learning about or and in if statements. The symbol of or. The symbol of or is this symbol. Let's zoom in for help of you. The symbol of or is this, and the symbol of and is this. And let's see what is the purpose of these two things. Okay, first of all, I have declared and assigned three variables, numbering num1 to num3. Okay, they are all 10, 15, 20, and here we have if statement, and this if statement is for checking what is the purpose of AND, and here we have the symbol of AND. What is AND is doing? Okay, in the previous tutorial, in the previous parts, if one statement is true, then the code inside the curly brackets will be executed. But in here we have two statements to be true, and if one of them is false, then the code inside the curly brackets will not be executed. Okay, let's see if the two of the statements are true. Num1 is more than num2. Num1 is 10, num2 is 15. 10 is more than 15. It's false, so this will not execute. Num2 is now more than, no, num2 is less than num3. Num2 is less than num3. Num2 is 15, num3 is 20. 15 is less than 20. This is true, but this is false. For executing this, we have to have two true statements because we are using AND. Okay, now let's execute. Note that these codes will be not executed because they are commented on multi-line commenting style. Okay, let's run. Nothing will happen because one statement is false. Okay, now let's ping this one and see. Num1 is less than 15. Num1 is 10. 10 is less than 15. True. Num2 is less than num3. Num2 is 15. Num3 is 20. Num2 is less than num3. 15 is less than 20. This one is true and this one is also true, so the code will execute. Let's reload, and the code have executed correctly. Now that's it for AND. Let's look at O operator. Let's bin this one and paste. If num1 is more than num2 or num2 is less than num3. Now num1 is more than num2. Num1 is 10, num2 is 15. 10 is more than 15. False. And num2 is less than num3. Num2 is 15. Num3 is 20. 15 is less than 20. This one is true, but this one is false. But the code will execute because we have used these two pipes. That's how O operator works. If one of the statement is true, then the code will execute. If both of the two statements are false, then code will not execute. But if the one of the statement is true, then the code will execute. If the both of the statements are true, then also the code will execute. Let's check it. Go to this one, reload, code executed. Let's change the message. Code executed. Code executed. Code executed. Remove that and see this one. If num1 is less than 15, true. num1 is 10 and it is less than 50. Num2 is less than num3, true. Num2 is 15, num3 is 20, 15 is less than 20, is true. True statement, nothing to worry, code will execute like that. Hello guys, today we're gonna learn about arrays, in other words lists. As you can see, this is a list. We have assigned a list to a variable called nameList. Typically we can use a name like nameList for arrays, or we can also use names for a name array. If you have numbers, then you can use numbers, cities, anything you like, the plural form of anything you like when you using an array. Okay, and we have 1 2 3 4 values here. These are strings, but we can also have number values 14, 13, 3.1, like that. It is completely okay to have multiple data types in here. Now we have 6 values in here. Okay, let's do this. Console.log name list. We have open a square bracket and put 0. What will this do? Refresh. Name list is not defined, or we have changed the name. I have to change it also. Okay, now let's run. Alfred. It have written Alfred. To get the first value, we have used 0. Why is that? Because the computers we start to count from 1 to up, but the computer starts counting from 0. So to get the first element, we have to put 0. To get the second element, we have to put 1. Then we join. To get the third element, we have to put second and run. To get the fourth element, we have to put third and run. To get the fifth element, we have to put fourth. Okay, like that. And to get the length of the array, it means how much values we have. 1 2 3 4 5 6. We can in this list we can count how much values are there, but if there will be a long list, then we will be unable to count how much values will be there. So we have property called dot length. Names, it means our name of the our variable which have array assigned to it. Then we put dot, then access the length. What will happen? Refresh, it returns 6. It means there are 6 values in our list, or in other words array. To get the last element, we can use console.log names curly brackets names to length -1. What will this do? Names, you know that when we put 0, it will return the first element. But names to length is 6. We have 6 values. 6 minus 1 will be 5. It using this method, you can get the last element. If there will be 7 elements, then 7 minus 1 is 6. Then this one will be filled with 6, and we will be return the 6. In this case, names.length is 6 and 6 minus 1 is 5, and 5 will be filled to here, and the answer will be written as 3.1 because the last value is 3.1. Here you can see. Also, by the index notation, here we are accessing the values by using square brackets, and this is called as index notation. Okay, we are changing the first element's value to alpha. Now let's console.log the full array, or in other words list. Then you can see we are starting with alpha, not alphabet, because we have changed the value. Do you know how to append element or push element to the array? We can use names.push function. Names.push 0. Then let's see the array names run alpha del score 13 3.1 at last 0. Names.pop. Do you know what the pop will do? It will remove the last element 0. Here 0 will be removed. Run. Here no heroes. We pop again and again, and only these two values remain because they are not have been popped. Okay, that's it for arrays. Math, a library in JavaScript. What this library will do? This library will do the math things, the complex math parts in ease. This library is for your help. And let's see. Console.log math.random. Let's comment other things out. Math.random. What will this do? What will this do is it will generate a random number. This is the random number. If you want to just get a number over 0, you can multiply this by 100. If you multiply that by 100, then the numbers that will be written are under 100. If you want numbers under 1000 but not over that, then you can multiply it by 1000, like that. Then in this, what we have done is we have round the random number to nearest whole number, 96, 70, like that. And these two functions are also do the same thing. They also do the same thing. And this math function, this math library deserves its own tutorial, but this is a crash course, so I done my best to explain this library. You can also try out functions of this library. This library have trunc, tan h, tan square root, sine, round, random, power, min, max, log 2, log 1, p, log 10, log, lots of functions for your need of maths. You can try them out. let's convert strings to let's convert numbers to strings, floats to strings, and string numbers to numbers. Let's first convert numbers to string and floats to string. Let's say you have a number. To know the type of a variable or a value, you can use the function type of and put the value 10. What is the type of 10? It will be a number, in other words integer. But if I put it inside single quotes, then it will be a string, like that. Okay, let's say you have a number. Let num1 equals 100. Num1, let's put inside here. It will be a number. Now what our target is to convert numbers to string. Convert this number to a string. To do that, we can use string keyword. Then it will be converted to a string. Also, we can use the method toString dot to string, and it will also do the same. And floats to string, there is nothing changes. 10.5 string changes to a string, like that. Then we have to look at how to convert string numbers, not string numbers to numbers, and string floats, not strings, strings floats to floats. Okay, let a string number equals 10, and this inside the single quotes. Let a string float equals 10.1, like that. And we're going to check the type of this. Console.log and check the type of a string number, and the type will be a string. And we have to our goal is to convert string numbers. These are string numbers, not just strings. They are single quoted numbers. They are called as strings. Convert string numbers to numbers. To do that, we can write number, like that. Just like that. And also we have another function called pass int for converting to numbers. It will also do the same, like that. String float. Let's convert this string float to a string. No, a string float to a float. Let's convert pass float to convert string float to float. Float run to show us number, because for floats also the data type is number. And those are the conversion of data types. Hello guys, in this part I'm going to talk about for loops. What are for loops? For loops are the loops which goes through every single element of a array, specifically if array, mainly array, and do something with that element. With for loop, it will go through each of these elements and do something. And this is the structure for for loop, but I know that it looks pretty much complicated for me also. When I start to learn about these things, these for loops, it has been a hard task to understand this structure. But let me cut down this structure into pieces. Okay, I write, when I want to write a for loop, I write for, then open brackets, close brackets, and then I do the initialization of iteration variable part. Initialization of iteration variable part. Initialization, it means I am going to make a new variable which will be I. Let I is the name of the variable. I use I because it is the best practice and most common practice by programmers for loops in general. Let I equals 0. Generally it starts from 0 because the computer starts to count from 0, that's why we assign 0 to it. Then we do a statement until I is less than the numbers array length. Until the I is less than the numbers array length. I is now 0 until it is being less than the numbers length. Numbers array length. Numbers array length 1 2 3 4 5 6 until this I, which is 0, is less than 6. Less than 6. We separate this. This is initialization, this is the statement, this is the incrementation, and this is the statement. This is the code to be happen for every element. We get every element numbers and we put I for the index minus 15. That's what we're gonna do. And this one will be executed, and let's now see what is the value of numbers. What will be the array will look like. Defaultly what I have created is 10 20 30 40 50 60, and now let's see after every being subtracting of 15 from every element, what will be the look of the array. Run 10 20 30 40 50 60. Why is that? Number I. Oh, we have to numbers I plus numbers I minus 15. Run minus 5 5 minus 5. 10 minus 15, 10 minus 15 minus 5. 20 minus 15, 20 minus 15 minus 15 5. 30 minus 15, 30 minus 15 15. Likewise it continue on by subtracting 50 from every element, not by single element. And that is the requirement of for loop with numbers. Let's see what is the requirement of for loops with string arrays. Okay, this is a names array, so I will write a for loop and let initialization of iteration I equals 0, compute start for start to count from 0, so I put 0 until I, this is the statement which is checked, which will be checked every time for loop loops. I is less than, I is let me turn off filter keys. There, annoy me. Okay,
Always in this section.
okay. Now this is the initialization, and this is the statement which checks alwaysly names dot length I plus plus. Then I do names I equals names I. We're gonna do some string recognition. Hello plus. I hope that you will understand this and ask me if you have any questions about anything about JavaScript. Then I will reach you back within as possible as I can. Then I will help you. Okay, let's console.log the names are now, and you can see that hello Alfred, hello Sandro, hello Hila. Here we have Alfred, Sandro, Hila, and by for loop we have had hello in front of every element. Okay, that is the power of a for loop. This is a for loop. No. This is a while loop. This is like the other version of for loop, but this is more easy than for loop, and this is easy to understand and easy to work with. But no, let's continue on. Let me show you the structure. First you have num1 equals 10. You can make this 1 or something like that, anything. Then you write while to start the while loop, and we put the condition num1 until num1 is being less than 20. Please console.log the num1 and add more to num1. Then we run, and we can see it have gone like this. You can play around with this while loop. It is easy to understand than for loops, but same thing happens if you, let's say you want to go to a list using a while loop. Let's say let numbers equals 10 20 30 40 50 until 0 is less than numbers to length console num1 numbers. Now it will go to this like that. Do you understand that? Okay. Okay, these are functions. What are functions? They are the reusable blocks of codes that we can write once and use anytime, anywhere from our code. They are reusable code. Here let's comment this other functions out. This function, to write a function you have to be in writing writing the keyword function, then give the function a name, open curly braces and close them, and curly braces, open brackets and close them, and curly braces, and you write what to do. And if you run this, there will be nothing happen, because functions had to be called to be executed. Okay, let's call hello function, then we run hello world. If we call it again and again, then it will show like this. And functions also can have arguments. This function getting name, and we can write greet him John, 1 2 3 3 times, hello John, get that out. Functions also can have returns. Okay, it means functions is not console.login, but instead it is returning a value. Greet him return John, and we can let func return equals this, and if we console.log the func return, then we can see hello John, like that. That is how function